What's up guys, it's Tommy here and welcome to a big Liverpool takeover news update video, and it has been reported by multiple sources including the Daily Mail and other Liverpool media outlets that the Qatari investment fund, after failing in their takeover of Manchester United, they are turning their sights to Liverpool because Qatar, after their pretty much failed project at Paris Saint-Germain, they are turning their sights to the Premier League. And which club is for sale apart from Manchester United among the top 6? Liverpool FC. So let me know, how do you think this could shape out? What do you think about Qatari's investors trying to buy Liverpool, or at least getting a big stake, a big percentage of Liverpool FC? FSG are open for investment, and they are open for minority investment into Liverpool FC, but with the view of that minority investor gradually over time, if they are the right fit, FSG could gradually sell them the whole of Liverpool FC in 5 to 10 years or whatever the timeline is. So that's what we will explore in this video. And the reports are saying that the Qatari delegation has been in England for months to finalize the sale of Manchester United, but they are hitting many various obstacles. And Qatar by all means wants to get into the Premier League because they see the Premier League as a league with revenues going up all the time, and potentially with football getting more and more popular in the USA. For example, Messi signing for MLS club Inter Miami makes football even more popular in the USA. There is a huge market where the Premier League can grow enormously. Plus the market in Asia is ever expanding, ever growing. So and more money could pour into the Premier League, which would increase the value of any of the top 6 Premier League clubs that you buy right now. Qatar wanted to buy Manchester United for £6 billion, but Liverpool could be available for £4.5–5 billion. And what is also a big advantage for Liverpool is that for buying Liverpool is that you don't really need to invest a lot in infrastructure. Liverpool just built a new AXA training center. We have expanded the stadium in the past like 10 years. We rebuilt Anfield, and it's there in the final stage of expanding to a 61,000 seater stadium. If you buy Manchester United, you need to invest at least £1 billion into investing into the stadium, renovating it, investing into a new training ground. At Liverpool, you don't really need to do that. You just need to invest into the playing squad, and the rest is already pretty much finished and finalized. According to Football Insider, the Qatar-based investment authority's key reason for abandoning Liverpool takeover back in March was because they thought FSG have overvalued the football club. According to an expert, Liverpool's valuation is around £1.5 to £2 billion, but FSG wanted around £4 billion for Liverpool FC. Another reason the Qatari Investment Authority rejected FSG's offer, as they thought investing in Manchester United would be more profitable. But now that takeover, the Man United takeover, has apparently reportedly fallen through. So now they are returning their interest into Liverpool FC. And according to this news report, the QIA, the Qatari Investment Authority, has been equally interested in investing in Manchester United and Liverpool since the beginning. But now that potentially the Man United takeover is off the table, they would be interested in buying Liverpool as well. And the rumor is that Sheikh Yassim Al Thani, who wanted to buy Manchester United, now that he's hitting many obstacles in buying Man United, now he could turn his attention to Liverpool FC. So I will try to keep you guys posted on this and the latest developments around the Liverpool takeover. So as long as there is any new developments, I will post a video about it. So make sure to subscribe and turn on the bell notification so you never miss the latest updates on Liverpool's takeover. The investment group who would be interested the most in buying Liverpool is called the Qatar Sports Investment, a private Qatarian consortium with close ties to Qatar's ruling family. It could very well be owned by the Qatar Ministry of of Finance and the nation's Olympic Committee, but it's very hard to know exactly who is in charge of these organizations. They are prioritizing purchasing Liverpool FC from FSG. Forbes last year in 2022 put Liverpool's valuation as $4.5 billion, a 9% increase from 2020, and a figure that makes Liverpool the fourth most valuable sports team in the world, behind Real Madrid, Barcelona and Manchester United. FSG bought Liverpool for just $344 million, so this is literally almost 15 times the valuation of what the FSG have bought Liverpool for in 2010. So that was like 13 years ago, that's true. And this Qatari sports investment can afford a 4 or 5 billion pound takeover of Liverpool FC, which is absolutely crazy. My personal opinion, I don't want Qatar, the country, to own Liverpool FC. I would be fine if it was an individual private investor or investment group owning Liverpool. Any investment group who has very close ties to the Qatari ruling family, it wouldn't sit right with me, because I'm against state ownership in football. I'm against state ownership of Paris Saint-Germain, of Newcastle United, of Manchester City. Even if Liverpool would be able to spend £500 million every transfer window, it wouldn't feel right to me. And the Liverpool, the city, and the values of the club and the values of the Liverpool fans don't align with the values of the Qatari ruling family. That's just my opinion, and I think that's how the majority of Liverpool fans see this around the world. But let me know, would you be happy if Qatar, the state, owned Liverpool FC? I mean, money is not everything in football. You could see that Jurgen Klopp has one of the most successful tenures as a Liverpool manager in the history of Liverpool Football Club. And if it wasn't for state ownership, if it wasn't for Man City being owned by a country, then Liverpool would have won even more titles and trophies during Jurgen Klopp's very successful managerial era at Liverpool FC. There is the saying, if you can't beat them, join them. But in the case of Liverpool FC, it would tarnish a lot of what the club stands for and what the Liverpool fan base stands for if we were to be owned by a whole state, a whole country. That shouldn't be allowed in football, no matter which club it is that we are talking about. I would rather be owned by a Norwegian investment group who also have a lot of money, or I would be rather owned by a very, very ambitious American investment group who is much more ambitious than FSG. My biggest problem with FSG is that they are not ambitious enough. They don't want to desperately win as many titles and trophies with Liverpool as possible, because then they would just invest a little bit more into the transfers. But hopefully, if the stadium is finished, then more money will be available for Jurgen Klopp to spend. And in the last 2 or 3 years of Jurgen Klopp's managerial career at Liverpool, I really want Liverpool to go all out and to support him and to finance whatever transfers Jurgen Klopp and the transfer committee wants to make, so we can make Liverpool as good a team and as successful a team as possible, or under the current ownership model. But after Jurgen Klopp, you have to look at the ownership model, because it only works because we have the best manager in the world, the absolute genius of Jurgen Klopp, and of course the supporting staff, who are also brilliant people at Liverpool FC, the scouts, the analysts, the assistant coaches, everybody who's working at Liverpool FC. They are doing absolute miracles on a shoestring budget. Liverpool are not even in the top 10 clubs of the past 10 years when it comes to net spend. West Ham United have spent more money than Liverpool net spend wise in the last 10 years. So it's staggering how much Liverpool have won, contrasting that to how little Liverpool have spent compared to the other big clubs in England and in Europe as well. But you also have to wonder, how can FSG compete if state-owned football clubs will be the norm rather than the exception going forward? Because just to compare, if the Qatari royal family, for example, if they bought Manchester United as a hypothetical, they have a wealth of 200 billion pounds, 218 billion pounds to be exact. And just to compare that, the entire sporting empire of FSG, the Liverpool owners, are 8 billion pounds. to 218 to 8 billion pounds. That is an absolute massive gap. It's incomprehensible how much more money these royal families and these rich oil countries have compared to a very rich investment group like FSG. What is interesting is that after it was announced that the Man United takeover is off the table, both Jim Ratcliffe and Sheikh Yassim, it is claimed that they remain confident that the takeover is still on, but the markets have responded negatively. On the stock exchange, Man United shares went from $23 per share to $18 per share, a drop of almost 20%. And the current share price of Man United is the lowest since early June. Of course, a lot of people bought shares because they anticipated that this Qatar takeover would go through and then the shares would skyrocket. They could quickly sell those shares at a big profit and walk away from the deal. But now that the takeover, it looks like, is not going forward, is not happening, they sold their shares at a minimal loss. Apparently, the Man United owners, the current owners, the Glazers, want to wait until 2025 to sell Manchester United in full because they think the future value to be created by Premier League football clubs will be much higher, much bigger in the next 2 years than that is right now, because they are anticipating that with the new Champions League format there will be a fifth team entering into the Champions League from the Premier League, and that could be Manchester United being guaranteed a top 5 place and a Champions League place every year, so that boosts revenues. Of course it would boost the revenues for Liverpool, because I just hopefully with the right kind of transfers Liverpool will not fall out of the top 5 clubs in the Premier League. At least in the past like 5 or 6 years I think we always finished in the top 5 places in the Premier League. Only the top 2 highest coefficient leagues qualify their 5th placed team or their 4th placed team, if only the top 3 qualifies normally for the Champions League competition, but only the top 2 leagues with the highest coefficient numbers will get an additional Champions League place through their league finish, which is very exciting for the Premier League, because usually the Premier League are in the top 2, the other is usually La Liga. And also the Glazers anticipate that the TV deal will also increase with the US TV deal. Could be another one that is again negotiated in 2025. That could be even more revenues into the coffers of top 6 Premier League clubs. And these are the factors that why FSG and may be less reluctant or less they have less appetite to sell Liverpool. I mean, and the Glazers are now reconsidering the sale. And also this could be why maybe the Chelsea owners, Todd Bowley, are not too bothered spending £1 billion on Chelsea. But them only signing young players I think is a very flawed transfer strategy, but we will wait and see. So far it doesn't look like it's working for Chelsea. FSG will likely continue to take their time and to see who is interested in buying the football club and for how much, and if they can get an investor on board they will be happy to do that. But if they can sell the club at an inflated value, that wouldn't bother them I think either, because they want to fund an NBA franchise in Nevada, I think Las Vegas, that's the rumor as well. And also Alan Hutton, a Scottish defender who played in the Premier League, I think he played for Aston Villa among other clubs, he said that one of the reasons why Liverpool loaned Ned Phillips out to Celtic only until January is they hope that Ned Phillips plays regularly for Celtic, his value goes up a little bit, and they can sell him permanently to Celtic to another club in January, so they can get a little bit of money in. They tried to sell Ned Phillips for 2 years in a row. No real like 10 or 15 million pound offers came in for him, so I think a loan is the best case scenario, because we have Kwanzaa as our 5th choice centre back option, and he looked like a real handful in the 2 games that when he came on he looked pretty assured for a young centre-back. Graham Souness likes how Liverpool strengthened in the summer, but he thinks Liverpool still lack a certain type of player. This is what he said, Graham Souness: "The time to strengthen is when you are at the top. You're getting players in who don't have to make an impact right away. Last summer, I wrote an article saying Liverpool needed to strengthen in midfield and they didn't. couple of weeks after that, they went and got Arthur on loan. He didn't play any time for Liverpool. When you looked at the age, it was not rocket science that it would end badly, because Liverpool's age profile in the midfield wasn't right. They were at an age where you should have been watching it very closely. They have done it now. They rebuilt the midfield. McAllister and Szoboszlai are going to be stars at Liverpool, but I would still like them to have an out-and-out top-class holding midfielder. Of course, that's true. But Endo performed an absolutely brilliant game when Japan wiped the floor with Germany in their own backyard 4-1, and Endo was the best midfielder on the pitch. He put in an absolute brilliant performance, and Germany of course are a shadow of their former selves, but still Japan to beat Germany in the World Cup, and now again, this time with an even bigger scoreline, 4-1, is a huge statement. And Endo was one of the best players on the pitch. So that's exciting from a Liverpool point of view. A lot of Liverpool players did really well on international break. And this afternoon I'm watching Hungary and Dominik Szoboszlai play the Czech Republic in the Puskás Arena. So make sure to watch the highlights of the good game. I will try to wave to you guys from the stand. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed this. Have a nice day. See you later. Goodbye.